Dave, this project is going to highly depend upon you.
I'm getting that vibe.
You know, I've got mechanized equipment here, but you notice what you're holding.
Yeah, there's no real good way to do this. We thought of a couple bad ways to do it, but nothing that's going to be quite what we're after, I don't think.
That has no chair on it, so I'm not really interested in operating it.
You know, I thought you said you threw away all your shovels and stuff, so.
We're going to seed around the pond. This will be at the water level, slightly below, slightly above. We're a little nervous about how this is going to work. We've got the tiller on the excavator. We're just not sure whether it's going to work very well. And Dave is going to make it all right with this rake.
Yep.
Let's get started.
I put a lot of thought and preparation into this project. I'll tell you more about that as we go through this episode. But until this very moment, I had no idea if it was really going to work.
I was going to watch the airlines for you.
Oh, okay. What do you think about what I'm doing?
If you keep doing that, I don't have much to do.
Sweet. I'll just skip over those
It
airlines.
looks to me like you got that one end dipped in pretty good, and that's keeping all the dirt from falling down.
The far end, having the far end dipped in a little better is holding the dirt.
I think so.
Okay.
So it looks good to me.
This tiller was not intended to be mounted in this direction. In fact, the only time we've ever used this tiller, we had it mounted sideways, 90 degrees to where it is now, and that's the intended approach. I spent a good bit of time off camera rebuilding, rewelding this mount so it would run at this angle. I was pretty sure that this mounting approach to solve that vertical angle was going to work, and well, hopefully work well. I was a little concerned about the soil running down the hill. As you can see, it is at least partially here, and hopefully Dave's going to help with that with the rake.
Wondering if we need to start sprinkling seed, or at the rate he's going, I'd feel better about letting him get done with it, and then he can tell us where the seed needs to go exactly, because my 8 inches isn't going to be the same as his 8 inches.
I wonder if he's going to want to come back around again.
I don't know that he'll need to, honestly. It really looks like it's doing a fine job. But the only thing I'm concerned about is he's putting quite a bit of leverage on that arm. As long as we don't have to go fishing today, we'll be good.
Dave's got a good point here about the stress I'm putting on the boom. And that's a good transition to the second problem that, yeah, I did not know how to solve. How am I going to be able to till at that same curvature as the pond?
You can probably get started with the seed if you think it's ready.
Okay, so on that seed, start 2 inches below the surface, because that's 6 inches above the water line, right? And sprinkle down a foot. Does that make sense?
Yeah. And even a little lower than that if you, in other words, you don't have to start that close to the surface. We can see if we can get everything above the surface to be grass. It's kind of
I'm just going to go along and just sprinkle real gingerly and mix it in.
Yeah, and if you want to use both grasses at the same time, I think that's the way to do it.
You think just mix them together and just...
Well, sow the strip of the others, just sow them together. And
right.
I don't mean, sow a strip. And you can overlap that other grass. We got plenty of it.
Right.
So it doesn't matter to me if it goes down in there.
Okay. As long as you're thinking this is good, which I think it is.
Okay, as long as you're happy with it.
I think this is a lot less work than what we originally thought it was going to be.
I do too.
It was looking at me, so.
If I held the excavator in one position and rotated the boom, I'd be going in the wrong angle, right? I'll call it a convex arc versus a concave arc. I could get the arc correct by moving the excavator like I am here, but that causes a couple of other problems. It puts some pressure on the boom, as we mentioned, and it lowers the rotation speed of the tiller because we're using a lot of the hydraulics to propel the machine. I found that this compromise worked best. The tines are pulling the boom forward, relieving some of that pressure, and the tine rotation speed, well, that was just good enough.
Shoreline seed mix, and the instructions say 6 inches below, 6 inches above. This bag's supposed to cover 4,500 square foot, so we're just put it out gingerly, and we're mixed in a little bit with some of Tim's regular grass seed. The idea is that he'll be able to grow regular grass above the water line, and this other stuff will grow below the water line is kind of the hope and the idea. And then we're gonna go after it's all spread, we're gonna go back through and rake it so it sits 1 inch below the surface.
How's the raking, man?
It's a good workout.
I bet it is. But
It
it's
looks
looking
fantastic.
great.
Well, and so like there's a clear line once you pull it back. That's working out really well.
I mean, if the side would stay that nice,
What we need to do is come up with a little mower you could put on the excavator and just all the way down through there.
I am really surprised that I was able to just drive along.
Oh, I couldn't. You barely worked the arm at all, didn't you? Just,
Right. If I could drive straight, I didn't have to hardly move it. Sometimes the angle was a little bit different.
Right.
But I was shocked that I could do that.
That was impressive.
I think by the tiller pulling itself, you know, I mean, that kept me from...
It just kept it doing its thing, yeah.
You know, that's the second time we've used that tiller. And that's one more than I thought I would ever use it. But for both projects, I don't know how else I would have done it.
About the only thing I can come up with.
So unique. Now, the tiller's not sponsored. Don't go down that path at all, because I actually paid $325 for this tiller.
It's pretty cheap, isn't it?
I'd say it's pretty cheap, but I had to pay 600 and some to ship it. I bought it at auction in Oregon or somewhere.
Yeah, I remember you telling me about that.
I just needed the tiller. I don't even think they make them anymore. I believe it was made by Agro TK. I'm pretty sure they don't even make them anymore because probably no one wanted them. After all, this one sold for $325. Well, I'm almost around now. Making good progress.
Well, I didn't quite make it all the way. And I felt like I was really light on some of it.
We turned the water on.
Yep, you committed to it.
Yep. So we are filling. We are officially in the final fill. So I think what we'll do is we'll run it on full throttle for about 48 hours
Let's see where she's at.
and then turn it off for 48 hours, let the well catch up. Or maybe 24 and 24, actually. That might be safer. Because our well should be in good shape because it's been quite wet around here, but you never know.
Should be. And then you got to put fish in it.
What we're trying to do on the fish front is to make sure that we're managing the water, right? So we've done the treatment that you saw in a previous episode. If you haven't seen that, go check it out. I gave Christy a boat ride. You're chuckling.
It's probably not the boat she wanted, Tim. Was it good enough, Christy?
It was all right.
But we put dye in it, we put pond cleanse in it, and we put one other item in it. So the dye is for color and to keep the sun from going all the way through.
Right.
And the other two treatments are to lower the ammonia level and the phosphate level.
Good deal.
And if we can get that where we're managing that right, we're ready for fish. They did say that right here in the middle of summer is not the best time to put the fish in because of transporting the fish. It's real hot. Now we're getting all of our help from naturalwaterscapes.com/TTWT. And if you use code TTWT, you get $20 off your first $100 order. What percentage is that, Dave?
That'd be 20% off your first 100.
He can still do math. And you support our channel a little bit. So I'd really appreciate that if you'd buy some product. We really liked the dye packets. They were cleaner than the liquid.
Nice.
Works really well. We did it with a boat last time. We'll not have to do that again. With the dye packets, we'll just throw them out there.
A little skeet shooting?
Never even thought of that.
That'd be cool. Good dispersion, right?
Have you rested?
We're about ready to go again. I do have a question about putting fish in it, though. Are you guys going to have it airdropped in? Have you seen this done?
No.
The Fish and Wildlife, they'll they put one of those airplanes that's got the water tank on it. They fill that full of fish and they'll fly over the pond and drop them out of the back. Because I guess there's a thing where if you slow release a fish, it'll die. But it's got if it smacks the water, It likes that for some reason.
Daily
Livens them up and takes
Doubtable
off.
with Dave.
There's videos of it. Maybe we'll throw a clip in there.
Today's Daily Doubtable with Dave.
We were told you have to acclimate the fish to your pond water slowly by mixing in pond water with the water they arrive in.
I think that would be kind of the opposite, Christy, of dropping them out of an airplane.
Sounds-
Kerplap.
It's very opposite of what I've seen done.
There's no acclimation there. It's
no,
tough
it's
love.
shock and awe, shock and awe.
Seed mix. Shoreline seed mix from naturalwaterscapes.com. It says it covers up to 4,500 square feet. I don't know how we would ever get that much. The way we figured it, we had about, 500 square feet that we were trying to cover.
I think so, yeah.
Maybe 700. And we ran out of seed. So yeah, I think I would recommend getting some extra seed. I know maybe you're not supposed to plant it very thick, but it's got several different seeds in it, several different types of seeds. Riverbank wild rye, barnyard grass, chewings fescue, soft rush, creeping foxtail. I'm not sure I'm excited about that. Fox sedge, lurid sedge. But with all those different, seeds, when you're just spreading out of, are you really getting very much? I don't know, but this is what they recommend.
We might have been a little heavy on our salt and pepper.
No, I think it'll be interesting to see how this goes. Meanwhile, Dave, thank you again,
Absolutely.
Mr. Rake Man.
Yep. Hey, we got it done. Not too bad either.
This wasn't too bad. It's been a wonderful day, pleasant weather. This is
Not
the fun.
hot, but it's not cold. Nice little breeze. It's been pretty good.
Structurally, we are done with the pond unless we have trouble. Okay, we're filling now. So next step will be to show you the full pond. Hopefully it'll be all done at this point.
Yep.
Well, of course, we have more stuff to do, but this will be the structural stuff.
We got to put a dock in, right?
Yeah, and get our jet skis going in a circle.
Yep.
Thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next time on Tractor Time with Tim.
No one who is born of God will continue to sin, because God's seed remains in them. They cannot go on sinning because they have been born of God.